All righty, ladies and gents, and I say gents because we do have some men that watch us too.
Yes, they
I'm
do.
super duper excited. This is Life and Times of a Female Entrepreneur. Everything that goes on behind the scenes, the good, the bad, and the not so rock starish, right? This is a platform where we just show you the real deal. Because sometimes as female entrepreneurs, you see us on stage, you see us rocking out, you see us being fearless. But if you only knew what went down 5 minutes before we actually rocked the stage, you would be like, oh my God.
Right.
Or some of the challenges we go through just to make it all happen, just to stay in front of our passion. What does that look like? Because there are times that we feel like saying, wait a minute, is this working? Hello, anybody there, right? So I've brought this platform together and introducing you to 30 dynamic female entrepreneurs. And tonight, I have not the one and only Miss herself. Yes, Miss Tiana Patrice. Tiana! I feel like,
Hey, y'all.
It's funny when you got to interview your good girlfriend, right? It's a whole nother level.
I know, right?
Right? The excitement, it just goes to like 1,000 really quick. So Tiana, for those that do not know, just tell us a little bit about who you are and what do you do. And I know it's all about fearless, but tell us in detail.
Absolutely.
What does Tiana do?
Absolutely. Well, first off, this platform is so absolutely amazing. And I am so honored to be a part of it because it's time that we start telling everybody the good, the bad, and the downright ugly of entrepreneurship so people can know what they're getting into and how we stay in it. So I'm so grateful for this platform. For those of you who do not know who I am, my name is Tiana Patrice from TianaPatrice.com. I am an award-winning global speaker, the best-selling author of 52 Shades of Fearless and the upcoming book, Dear Fear. And I am an executive business strategist. I'm also the founder of Women's CEO Alliance, where we help women leaders build businesses that matter and create sisterhoods that last. My sole purpose in life is to help women. And now it's interesting, Lyric, is men too. A lot of men who have actually been working on joining the movement. So really live their best life on the other side of fear. There is an entirely different life available for you, opportunities that you'll miss if you don't step on the other side of fear. So that's what I do. That's who I am. I tell people all the time that my gifts run my business. I'm really passionate about what I do. It's my heart's work. And I retired myself 3 years ago to be able to do it full time. So that's a little bit about me.
Now, I know you got this whole fearless thing going on.
Yes.
So have you always been fearless? You always had the S on your chest and say, any doggone thing, right?
That's funny that you asked that. So I will say that I have always been a go-getter, right? I've always been an action taker. However, I have not always lived, quote unquote, fearlessly. Even now, there are times where I have to check my own fears and be able to move, right? So when we talk about being fearless and activating your fearless, that's my whole thing. Hashtag activate your fearless. What does that really mean? Mm-hmm. It means making the bold, conscious, and courageous choice to live fearlessly every day. And in order to do that, you have to acknowledge your fear. And so, no, I haven't always been, quote unquote, fearless Tiana. There have been times that fear has held me back, held me back from, taking that next bold step, held me back in my career from standing up and saying, no, I deserve that raise. Held me back in my business from standing up and saying, no, I deserve to charge that amount. But when you acknowledge the fear, which is what I had to learn to do, to acknowledge that fear, because we come from a culture that does not teach us to talk about our fears. We're not supposed to acknowledge our fears. Instead, we've made excuses for our fears, and that's why our fears have been winning all the time. Like that Beyonce song, Shine and Shine. That's why our fears have been the ones that shining instead of us, right? And so there have been times in my life where, no, I allowed fear to win. But then when you take a step back and you pull back the layers of why you didn't ask for that raise because you were scared of rejection, why you didn't hit send on that email because you were scared somebody was going to tell you no, why you didn't launch your business because you were afraid of failure. And so you have to really acknowledge, okay, which fear is the worst? The fear of rejection, of the fear of what your life will look like if you don't do it. And so what I had to learn to do was give in to my fear of what my life would look like if I didn't start my business. What would my life look like if I didn't run in these gifts that I've been blessed with, right? So I run with that. I run with that fear, right? Instead of the fear that'll hold me back. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. And, take me back, right? Take me back 3 years ago. 3 years and 3 days. Okay?
Ooh, so that's good.
3 days away from saying, I'm out of here.
Right?
What was going through Tiana's head? Because I know your mom.
Yeah.
She was tiny.
So can I take you back a little further? Is that okay?
All the way back. Let's go.
Okay. So I'm going to take you back 3 years and 30 days, right? Okay, because cool. I'm going to take you back to when I actually gave my notice. Okay. Because cool. I gave a 30-day notice because 3 days before I actually chucked the deuces, I was excited at that point. I was ready. I barely showed up. But I want to take you back 3 years and 30 days prior. So the day that I actually walked into my boss's office, and I want to tell you that, guys, that story of how that happened. I was in a season where I started feeling the shift. And many of you are in that season. Many of you know what that feels like, that shift when you know that you're supposed to be doing more. You know that there's more for you, but you don't know how to get there. Yeah. You don't know what those steps are going to be like. You don't know what life is going to be like on the other side of that. So many of you take action on it, but there's a great percentage of you that don't. You don't do anything. You just stop, right? And so I was feeling that shift. So, of course, just like anybody else, I started Google University. How do I launch my business? How do I find my purpose? How do I do this? How do I do that, right? Google knew me by name and my IP address and everything. And so in that season, it was the vision that, my faith is really huge to me. I don't push that on anybody, but my faith is huge to me. And so I received a vision. God gave me a vision and was like, hey, you already know what your purpose is. It's time for you to walk in that thing. Say, what? Wait, so what does that look like? And so for me, it was quitting my job. So here's what I did. I want to make sure that you guys can see me okay. So here's what I did.
So you're fine.
I wrote my letter, my 30-day letter, and I ended up taking it into my boss's office, shaking and trembling. I'm talking about your girl was scared. But here's why I decided to make that decision. When I started making the choice to start my own business, I was a blabbermouth. I told too many people, right? So here's the thing, and I want somebody to catch this. Now we're still 30 days before, right? So I'm gonna bring it back. When you begin to start walking in your purpose, right? You have to protect that thing like you would protect your newborn baby, right? If any of you are moms on the call, aunties, grandmas, whatever, you know what it feels like for somebody to try to walk up to you and touch your baby's hair or reach their hands inside. What are you going to do? You're going to snatch it. You're going to snatch your child back. That's how we have to protect our dreams and our purpose. Because when we talk to everybody about our purpose and our dreams that don't deserve to hear it, we give them the permission to crush our dreams. We give them the permission to come in to give their opinion on something that they shouldn't even have an opinion about. And so I ended up telling my boss. I say that to say I ended up telling my boss. Why did I do that? And so she ended up sending me.
Your boss?
I told my boss.
Business.
Yes. Because here's the thing, Lyric, I didn't hate my job. I never intended on quitting my job. I thought I was Superwoman, that I could do it all. Does that make sense? So I was going to do it all. I was going to have my business on the side. I was going to keep climbing the corporate ladder. So when one day she sent me a text message, and all I remember in that text message was blah, 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 blah. You're not Superwoman. You have to choose. Wait, what? You don't know who I am? Flip hair? That's what I'm thinking, right? This is like 25-year-old Tiana. And so I ended up,
real fearless, 25, real.
Right, real fearless, like, boo, don't you know who I am? But I had to step back and actually think about what she said. I'm not Superwoman. I can't do it all. And if I'm going to run in this thing, I'm going to have to run full force. And so I have to choose me. And so I ended up writing this letter and saying that I was going to give them a 30-day notice because I didn't hate them. I didn't hate my job, but I knew that I had to choose me. And so someone asked me, well, Tiana, if you were so afraid, you're not going to have a 2-week check anymore. Yeah. You're not going to have that security. Let me tell somebody on this call right now who is struggling between launching their business and in that between stage of quitting your job. Definitely have a plan. Fearless Tiana just jumped. Okay, I'm going to let y'all know. But there is no such thing as job security. What I do know is I'll never fire me. Okay.
Hello.
So, hello. Good morning. I'm never going to fire me. And so I ended up doing that. And someone said, Tiana, if you were that afraid, why didn't you stay behind the desk? And I said I was more afraid of what my life would look like had I not made that decision, what my family's life would look like had I not made that decision, the opportunities that my children would be afforded had I not made that decision. And so I had to, right? I had to go. I had to take that leap. And so 3 years and 30 days ago, I was afraid. I didn't know what life would look like on the other side of that decision. And that's what a lot of people are afraid of. What is my life going to look like on the other side of that decision, right? But there's a lot of opportunity there, but you just have to be able to keep pushing through it.
Okay. You made a decision. So that means that, you know, you had a supportive husband, you had money stacked up in the bank, so you had no bills that needed to be paid, that couldn't be paid. And you said, this is the time because everything is perfect. My money right. I just stacked it up. This man taking care of all the bills, and I'm good.
I'm looking around. This must be Showtime at Apollo or something. Is this a joke?
Punked with Ashton.
Am I being punked right now? Now, I will say that at the time, I'm getting ready to get married. So my now fiance was very supportive of my decision. The times that I did need help financially, he was absolutely there. However, it was a decision that I made, right? So it was a decision that I made. So a lot of things that I went through, I had to figure those things out of how to get out. But no, there wasn't money all stacked up in the bank. I had a savings and I blew through that savings just like that. And we'll talk about that in a minute, right? That savings goes fast. Matter of fact, we have this whole webinar. Lyric knows she helped me put this webinar together. What is it? From ramen noodles to revenue rockstar? Because your girl can teach you 29 ways how to cook that delicate lo mein ramen noodles. That's all I had to eat for a while, okay? Mm-hmm. But it's really because when I quit my job, I did not necessarily have a plan. My only plan was, girl, you can do this. You got this vision. Go for it. And so I will tell anybody that is thinking about quitting their 9 to 5 to have a more strategic plan in regards to what's your revenue stream coming from? How are you going to get there? What is your brand statement? What does all that look like? Where are your clients coming from? You get what I'm saying? Because what people don't understand, Lyric, and here's the thing. Here's what people don't understand when they get ready to jump into this world of entrepreneurship. I get it. When I first jumped in, I went straight into the online world, right? And the online world will have you messed up. Online world will have you thinking that you can make 6 figures in 60 days without putting in any work and no profit, that you can be laying up on the beach drinking Mai Tais and pina coladas and talking to clients. Eventually, yes, maybe you can get there. But what it's not telling you is when you first quit your job, you're going to be the manager, the bookkeeper, the accountant, the assistant, the graphic designer, the website designer, all of that. All of that, right? You're going to be doing it all until you can afford to bring somebody else in. And see, a lot of people are missing that. They're thinking that they can just go post a social media post and make 6 figures, and that's not how it works. And so there's so much deception going around in the online space as well. Does that make sense what I'm saying? And so I'm so glad that we're having this conversation.
Yeah, you don't know what to believe.
Yes.
You don't know what to believe. So I totally understand it. And then, you know, with personalities like ours, we just want to be like right here. Like nothing else is acceptable. We just gonna kill it, you know? Yeah. Just know, well, let me work my way up and maybe I'll start right here.
I'm glad you said that. I am so glad you said that. So that was actually one of the things, I'm not going to say that was my downfall, but one of my biggest lessons learned, because especially when you know what's for you, when you've received a vision, a preview of the life that's waiting for you, you want to get there. You're like, oh, I already know that I'm up here, right? But you have to understand, like, what's that song? There's levels to this, right? There really are levels. And you have to understand that at each level is a new season. And at each level is something different that's going to be required from you, which means you have to grow. So you can't just jump from here to here. There's some growth that has to happen. There's some sowing that has to be done, right? Exactly. And so a lot of people don't want to sow. They just want to reap. And one of my mentors told me, she said, Tiana, you're going to get there. That's the inevitable. But you're going to have to respect the seasons. And so I had to learn to respect the season. So she said, Tiana, baby, right now you're in a season of sowing. You're in a season of sowing. The harvest is going to come. And so I had to respect the season of sowing. So for an entire year, all I did, I had clients and things of that nature. I did coaching. But outside of that, I was sewing. I was going to conferences, paying my way to conferences to volunteer. Yeah. How many people are doing that? I remember paying my way to go to a Steve Harvey conference in Miami. At that time, the conference was at the Trump Tower. So you know that those, the Trump Hotel. And so you know that those rooms were not cheap. Exactly. I bought my flight, bought my own room to go volunteer at an event. It's about sometimes just being in the space with greatness. Right? I sold into my life, but from that, I was able to make connections that are invaluable now, right? How many people are actually doing that these days? They want this, but they're not really willing to plant the seed. Yes.
They don't want to put the work in because it's all about the process. You know, me and you, I have worked with you in the studio. I didn't just show up in the studio. It was 2 years of me doing the back work. And then they said, hey, you might be all right in this studio. Go work with our class and we trust you. It didn't start like that.
Right.
It just did not
start. You got to respect the process.
You got to respect the process. Yeah. And so therefore, when I get in front of dynamic women like you, I know what I'm doing. You know, I get in there and I say, okay,
we can trust you.
Yes, exactly. But it didn't start off like that. But I was that adult intern. And I say that all the time because that's probably the best thing I have ever done, Tiana, was be an adult intern, the gopher, the go get the lunch, go get me some water.
I like that, gopher.
I was the gopher. So I get in my car and go and be mumbling all the way to the restaurant, right? Yeah. But I knew that this was the process. I knew I was working with greats and that it was going to catapult me to a certain level to where I'm going to run into people like Miss Fearless and this now my good girlfriend. So you know, had I never put in the work, those connections would not, you know, have connected, have not met.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So it's amazing. Okay, so you have a little girl. How old was she 3 years ago in 30 days? 30 days.
So when I decided to quit my job, Chloe had just turned 3. So she just turned 6 now. So she had just turned 3.
Girl, you were still paying for daycare.
Girl, listen.
Wait a minute. Hold up. You're not in kindergarten yet.
Right. But I had just quit my job, so I didn't need it anymore. So that was an expense I actually didn't need anymore. So I became a stay-at-home, build your business. And I'm telling you, it was difficult. Like, it really was. I remember, but it's one of the best decisions that I could have made, not just for me, but for my children too. You know, Chloe now values entrepreneurship. Anytime she hears the word fearless, she's like, Mommy, they said your word. Mommy, over here, it could be in a cartoon or something. She's in our upcoming book. She's writing a chapter in the upcoming book. And she goes out and she'll tell people, you better not say anything about being afraid around Chloe because she's going to check you. She's like, why are you afraid? Tell me more. You know, but 3 years ago, I'm telling you, just in the whole beginning to build your business stage, because you're trying to do it all, and because there's so much that people don't tell you that you have to do, and who you have to be and the roles you have to play. I was doing it all, and I was literally burning the midnight oil. It'll be nice that I don't go to bed till 3, and I was back up at 7 o'clock because she woke up early. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So it'll be weeks that I'm lucky if I got 18 hours of sleep in one full week. And I did that so much. Now I don't do that. I'll tell you, one of my mentors, I think it was Linda Clemens, told me that you wake up, you go to sleep the same day you wake up. Have you ever heard that? Yeah. So basically, right, you make sure you go to bed the same day you wake up. Don't be staying up over midnight talking about you working and all this different stuff. But I value my sleep now. But But back then I didn't. And it was that one moment where I had my head down in the computer. I would never forget it. And Chloe looked up at me and she said, I want a new mommy. I want a new mommy, is what she said. And I looked up from the computer, and I remember my why of quitting my job was for my child. Yeah. I wanted to have more time with her. But in launching this business, I barely had time for her. That didn't make sense. So that means I was out of alignment. So a lot of times people hear me talking about who are you at your core, make sure you're in alignment. If I quit this job over here for her, and then she just looked at me and was like, I want to do mommy. And the reason she said is because, mommy, I don't see you. What are you doing? You're not spending time with me. I'm down here playing by myself. She didn't get that I was building a business. But at the end of the day, I was supposed to be building that business, so I could be sitting down and playing with her. So I could be traveling with her and doing more things with her. So I had to take a step back and get in alignment. And so that's very important for entrepreneurs as well. You got to make sure that you are doing the things that you're supposed to be doing from your core and not doing all the other stuff that people say that you're supposed to be doing, or being who you think the world wants you to be. Does that mean you get what I'm saying?
It does, being in alignment with your core, because we forget, we're so busy grinding and hustling. I used to be on the cell phone all the time. Mm-hmm. And we'd be in the car, I'm on the phone, and shh, be quiet. I'm on. Poor baby said, Mama, you always on your phone. And I'm like, girl, what are you talking about? But I was. So I get it because I wasn't in the online space, but I had to keep on the phone to get the next client,
Yep.
Get the next sale, the next deal. I'm always talking to somebody. And
it's that FOMO, feeling like if you don't be on the phone, you're going to miss that client. If you don't do this, you're going to miss this client. If you don't show up, if you don't post 3 times a day, if you don't do your webinars, if you don't do this, you're going to miss. I had to learn this. Here's my business model, right? Here's my hours of operation. Here's when I will reply to your email. Here's when I reply. If you can't wait to get a reply from me to the next day, if you can't call me or talk to me during these business hours, then you're not my ideal client anyways. So that means that you're for somebody else and there's someone else for me, right? When you are so busy because you're fear of missing out and you're saying yes to the wrong things, you leave in no room, no opportunity for the right things to be able to come into your business. So I had to learn that as well.
Wow. Yeah. And I feel you. And I'm just, it makes me proud when I see that, because you're a little younger than me, that I see you guys, because I just didn't have this platform. I didn't have the people that I know now that at this age. I didn't have that at that age. And I've always been an entrepreneur, but I was the top dog. My crew didn't have no business. So, but there was nobody above me. So I thought I had arrived. And I really hadn't arrived. And it wasn't until later in life that I said, oh, snap. There's more to this.
Right.
Thing. You may say, how much money? And you do what? I can do that. You ain't go to college either. Wait a minute. Time out. So how do you do this?
Right.
How do you do that? But until I expose myself to different people. So when I see you guys just kind of killing the game at such a, like, by the time you get looking at 50 in the eyeballs, you're going to be sitting pretty for real. Chloe going to be like, that's my mom. We done wrote about 10 books, and she got her boo over here. We good.
On the second retirement.
Right, exactly. So it just, I just get so excited. Just like when I just saw you here in the DMV at Power Networking Conference. It's like,
I know.
Super excited when I see you guys just kind of killing it. We're like, there go Tiana again. Y'all better watch that one right there, because she gonna get you. She's gonna get you. I say it all the time because you recognize when people have it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when people have it, and after working with you in the studio, I remember going back telling the gang like, oh my God, that girl Tiana. Tiana, the girl, the little girl, Tiana Patrice, her. They were like, what about her? I said, she was in there. She tore up all this paper. She threw it in the air and did her video. She had confetti flying down. And you know what they said? We didn't expect anything else. We know she's good.
Oh, wow.
I said, really? Well, I didn't know. So that little girl, Tiana Patrice, she is the bomb. I mean, I just remember saying, that one right there got it. That one right there. And they said, we already know that.
Well, thank y'all.
I said, well, dang, get nobody tell me. But I'm telling you, so, everybody sees that thing, So what you decided to do 3 years and 30 days ago probably was the best decision. You'd have been sitting on your gift.
Yeah.
and just,
Yeah.
I'm just so excited, Tiana. You just killing it. You're killing it.
Thank
What do you
you.
have coming up next? I know you're getting married. So guys,
Yeah.
she's getting ready to take care of some things she got to do to get this
15 days.
15 days. So
15 days. So excited about that. And you know what? Just to really quickly, because I feel like somebody that's watching this needs this really quickly. You just mentioned sitting on your gifts. There are some people right now that's sitting on their gifts. And for some reason, you're afraid to be able to launch and embrace your gift. But there is someone that will not be saved because you decided to stay hidden in your gift. Like, it's time to rise up. And I had to realize that. And every single day I carry my gift more boldly, more proudly. I carry my mantle more loudly. Like, I don't even think that's a word, but Tiana just said it, so we're going to say it is loudly. I don't know. But I carry that thing because I know the day that I decide not to show up is the day that someone may give up. And I can't have that on me. And so for anybody that's watching this right now that's been feeling that shifts, that's feeling like, man, I know that I'm supposed to be doing more. Go do more. Go figure it out. Go take a step. In every step, you learn something. And I was just talking about this on the phone earlier with a client. And here's a message that was delivered to me last week that was downloaded into my spirit. And it's that life is all about how you handle the experiences it throws at you, right? So life is all about how you handle the experiences. So go figure it out. Go take a step. Go take action. You're not going to know until you get on the bike. And I'll tell you that the fear is actually in the choice. I'm going to take you back really quickly, Lyric, to when you were a child. Do you know how to ride a bicycle? You know how to ride a bicycle, right? Okay. So when you were looking at the bike and they were telling you they were going to take the training wheels off, you were afraid, right?
like,
Because you started,
don't let go.
right? You started thinking about all the things that could happen to you once you got on that bike, right? You started thinking, oh, if I get on and they let go, right? You said, don't let go, because you started envisioning them letting go and that you would fall. So what happens is you got on the bike, they let go, you wobbled, you might have fell. I got a scrape on my knee right now from when I fell, right? But what falling and failing taught me is how not to turn the wheel, how to turn it a different way. And by the time the day was over, I was popping wheelies off the driveway. I had my cousin on the back and my friend on the front. I had moved the little Barbie doll basket. Somebody get on the front, right? But the fear was in the choice to do it. Once I got on the bike, I kept going until I figured it out. I didn't quit. Somebody on here is not doing it because there is the choice to do it.
Yeah.
The reason you haven't written your book is because you're afraid to make the choice to do it. Once you make the choice to write the book, you won't figure it out. The reason you haven't launched your business is because you haven't made the choice to do it. Once you make the choice to launch your business, you'll figure it out. That's the inevitable. You'll keep Googling, you'll keep searching, you'll find a coach, you'll go to a conference. But the fear is in the choice. Just like when we decided to learn how to ride a bike, the choice to get on was scary because you started envisioning what could happen. I might fall, I might fail. But what if you succeed?
Yes.
Right? So you have to make the choice and stop allowing fear to dictate what you do in your gift. Stop allowing fear to dictate what you do with your purpose, because there is someone out there that needs that very thing that only you have, that gift that only you have. There is no one but Lyric that can work a media room like she does. There's no one but Lyric that can get me to operate in front of a camera the way that she does. Someone needs that gift. So if that was a day that she didn't show up, there would have been no confetti. I might not have felt confident enough to do that, but that's Lyric's gift. You see what I'm saying? That's your gift. And so the day that you don't show up is the day that somebody else can't show up. So it's important when you know that you're operating in a gift, it's time to operate and go from just having a motivational gift to an operational gift and start operating in that thing. So I just wanted to share that.
That is so funny because I've been in the studio with a client in the past and they had to come back in the studio. Well, I wasn't there. So I get this text like, hey, where were you? We didn't see you at the studio today. And I said, oh, I didn't know you were going to be in there. They must have thought you had it. You know, you do such a great job because they're seasoned. They're not rookies or anything. Yeah. And they was like, oh, no, we need you in there because you bring this thing out. I was like, but y'all have done this 1,000 times. Like, you really don't need me. They were like, oh, no.
Right.
Like, don't do that again. I was like, y'all got it. you know, you're right. You have to operate in your gift, and because somebody needs you. And if you don't show up, you're doing a disservice to somebody who needed what you have. And I always say this too, Tiana, when I hear people say, well, I don't have the money, let me tell you something. Go find somebody that does what you want to do. Volunteer. Like you went down to Steve Harvey. I became the adult intern. Do what you have to do. Get into that space. That's how you wiggle in for real. For real, that's how you wiggle in. Say, hey, you need some help. You know, anything you need me to do.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'll bring the beverages. I'll make the coffee.
Yeah. And you never know what's so funny that you say that is that you never know what opportunities are waiting for you right there, right? So I'm going to share this with you. So that's that when I went to, you never know how the puzzle pieces are being put together.
Yeah.
So at this conference, I'm getting ready to leave and pack and go to the airport. And they said, well, all you need to bring is jeans because we're going to provide you the shirts, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm going to be there 3 days, 3 pair of jeans, my tennis shoes. I'm like, okay, cool, a carry on. I ain't even got to worry about nothing else. As I was leaving out the door, something said, grab your black dress. Well, I need a black dress for. Okay, well, I grabbed my black dress and my pink shoes, my little Jessica Simpson. Y'all know that's my favorite.
I like her shoes. I got all her shoes.
Listen, they're so comfortable. And so I grabbed that and I packed it. So I'm doing my networking, my volunteering thing. And all of a sudden I hear some whispering going on behind me. And the whispering, they're saying, well, the person that was supposed to introduce Patrice Cunningham Washington, she's not here. We need somebody to introduce Patrice Cunningham Washington. Now I'm packing up boxes and bags and bagging the stuff for the registrants. And I just keep hearing this commotion behind me. So something goes, well, I can do it, right? So I stood up, right? First I sat there for a while, fear. First I sat there. I was like, fear. I done came way too far to not let them know who I am. Because right now don't nobody know who is Tiana Patrice, right? Tiana Patrice, who are you, right? So I stand up and I go, hey, my name is Tiana Patrice. I said, I'm a speaker. I said, and I can introduce Patrice. I've met her before. You know, I know her. I met her at another conference. And I would love to introduce her. They looked at me, looked me up and down. Now, one of these are one of my mentors now. Looked me up and down and said, well, you can't wear that. You would have to have something to wear. And, you know, I know we told you guys to just bring jeans and a shirt. Well, contrary, my friends, because there's this little black dress that I have in my suitcase and some pink shoes. And so from going to volunteer, I actually didn't get to introduce Patrice, but I got to introduce their sponsor for the conference. I got to get on stage and introduce their sponsor for the conference because I showed up and I was ready. That would have never happened had I not sewn, being in my season of sewing, right? And was ready. So always being ready for the yes. I carry that little black dress everywhere I go. That is my little black dress. You know how some women are like, oh, I can't take pictures and more in this dress more than once. Honey, but when you can go through all my pictures, you're like, oh, that must be the black dress she's talking about right there. Because that is my little black dress. I was ready. And they had no choice. It was like they were like, we can't even tell her no. We can't even tell her no because homegirl is ready. She's right here. And I mean, you get what I'm saying? At that same conference, I'm checking in, right? And at this time, I'm checking in, and I get a message from somebody, and I'm checking in. I get a messenger that says, "Hey, are you standing at the desk checking in at a hotel in Miami?" I'm sitting here like, "Oh my God, there's somebody here stalking me. Oh my gosh, what is happening right now?" Right? So there was someone who had followed me from Periscope who was at the event. She was like, "Oh my God, Tiana Patrice," and I'm sitting here like, "Okay, I'm nobody. This is what I'm thinking, right? Because this is what, you know, fear is teaching us, it's telling us." She's like, "Oh my God, I met you. I've seen you from Periscope, all this different stuff." Me and her, we went to the pool. I said, "Well, let's go to the pool and chat." You know, we chatted. This is the same woman that just flew me into Buffalo just 2 months ago to be the keynote speaker at her conference. So you never know who's watching you. Even if they don't like, share, or retweet your stuff, you never know who's watching you. You never know what they need from you. So make sure you're showing up. And also when you show up, make sure that you're ready for the yes. You never know how puzzle pieces are going to be put together. So always be ready. Always be ready.
Ever know.
Right.
Super duper excited. Now, Tiana, I ask everybody this. This is usually my last little question, and I ask everybody the same question. Okay? There are no
Okay.
boundaries. There's money is not an option, not an issue, um,
Okay.
and there's no way that you can fail. If you were not helping women become fearless, what would Tiana Patrice be doing?
The answer is this. Like this.
No, this is not. You can't do this. You got to do
I
something.
can't do what I'm doing.
No, what
I
would you
can't.
do?
Okay, so I could not. You're saying I could not be a speaker, so I cannot choose what I'm already doing, right?
Right. If you weren't doing this, if this wasn't, into
Okay, I know what I was saying. Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready?
Yes.
I'd be a rapper.
I said the same thing.
I'd be dropping bars, yo. I can freestyle my butt off. Like seriously, you do not want to get me on the mic.
Why? That is what I would be doing.
I would be a rapper. I'd be dropping bars everywhere. You wouldn't have anything on me. Tracy B. That would be my name. Tracy B on the mic. Tracy B about to flow.
Tiana, you know that's my answer, right?
Really?
That is my answer.
Okay, so next time I come to Maryland, we gotta go in the studio, right?
Oh my God, I used to back in the day.
No way. Are you serious?
Ladies,
we gotta do it.
I used to go to Jack the Rapper. How Can I Be Down? I used to hang with Pac and eat at Too Short's house. Like that's
not Too Short. Seriously?
His mother, Miss Dorothy, used to make me dinner all the time.
Okay, so let me find out. We need to go in the studio next time I come up there. Let me find out.
I thought about recently, I said, I need a theme song. I said, but I think I'm going to rap my own theme music.
Wow.
I just said that. I said, I still can do it. So I think.
Hey, look, I'm going to have to pull out that Too Short and be like, what's my favorite word? Fearless. I'm going to say fearless. What's my favorite word?
Oh my God, it is so funny that somebody said, because see, when I say it, people look at me like, but somebody else said it. So I knew we was, Tiana, I knew we was right here, girl.
Uh-oh. Are you still there?
Yes, we hear you. You are frozen, but I hear you. And I see you frozen, but you look very cute. Okay. Oh, there you go. We see you now.
There we go. Okay.
Yes, but guess me, Tiana, this me and you, boo. Me and you, how they do at the end of Color Purple, the two sisters.
Yes. I'm telling you, that's what I would be doing. I would be doing it. I'm telling you.
I would.
That was a good question. That's so funny. I'm glad you asked that question because a lot of times people don't get to see like the girl behind the business and stuff. But yes, honey, my friends will tell you back in the day, honey, they used to put me on the mic all the time. My car tag said Tracy B. Oh my God.
I remember we went on a cruise ship to the Bahamas and they had karaoke. Well, I didn't know the words to the song and messed up, so I just started busting around to the beat. I was like, what the?
Love it. Love it. That was good.
Oh my God. Why am I more excited about that? Because somebody is like me. I tell you, boy, oh boy, you guys, Tiana Patrice has had some goodies for you guys. So if you head on over to Life and Times with an S 360.com. That's Life and Times 360.com. Click on the Tiana Patrice button, get your goodies from her. And you guys also go to Life and Times of a Female Entrepreneur page on Facebook. That's Life and Times of a Female Entrepreneur. Introduce yourself. Say who you are. What part of the country are you in and what do you do? There's always somebody in that community that needs what you have. It's always somebody out here that wants the product or the service that you can offer them to solve their problem today. Okay? So head on over to Life and Times of a Female Entrepreneur, like the page, okay? Introduce yourself. And it's just a community where we all gather as female entrepreneurs and those that want to be entrepreneurs. Okay. And it's just a hub for us to network and say, hey, girl, you can do it. I've been there, done that. Let me tell you what I did. Let me tell you the best secret. And that is that community. That is that place. And so you got to tune in next week for another dynamic female entrepreneur. But tonight, we are gonna thank my homegirl, my rapper partner, Miss Tiana Patrice, Miss Fearless herself. Tiana, we thank you so much. We know you took time out from your wedding planning and you got to get back. We appreciate you and love you dearly, girl.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Love you much. And you guys, I love you for showing up each and every week to this platform and making my guests feel oh so special. So until next time, you guys know me, rock out or stay home.